and welcome to another episode of Learning How to Automate with Zenphi in under 3 minutes. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be going over just how easy it can be to be able to retrieve the files of users inside of your Google directory. Let's go ahead and get started. The first step to any Zenphi flow is to set up your trigger. For this example, I have chosen the manual trigger, meaning you have to manually go and click Start Flow to be able to run the instance. However, I would also suggest the timer trigger, which allows you to set a certain date to be able to start the process or have it run on a recurring basis if you want to keep an eye on files, for example. Now, moving on to the steps inside our flow, our first action is called Search Users. This is going to allow us to retrieve important information, for example, the email of all of the users. Here is a quick glimpse of all of the information that comes with that action. Now, there's different parameters inside of this action that you can add to be able to limit which users you view. All you have to do first is set up your connection to Google Directory by clicking on the plus icon to create a new connection. This connection can be private or shared, and after you click on Authorize, it'll grant Zenphi permission to be able to access your Google directory. And now, since the previous action is going to return multiple users, we want to make sure that we go through each of them one by one so that we're able to see their files individually. So to do that, we're going to use an action called For Each Loop. And then here where it says Collection, we're going to click on this chain icon, which is called a token picker, and we're going to be able to select the collection of users. And then what this is going to allow us to do is to be able to see the items for each user one by one. So this action is called List Users Item. You have to set up a connection for a Google admin. So if you click on the plus icon, it's going to ask you for the credential file for a service account. And then after you do that, all you have to do is add their email. So we can retrieve that from our For Each loop, which is right here, user primary email. And again, you can add different parameters if you want to filter what you're looking at, whether it be trashed items, items from shared drives, etc. And then lastly, so we're able to actually see those items, what I've done is added an action called Log to History. Here I've added the email for each user in the same way from the For Each loop. And then I'm going to be retrieving their files and folders which come from the previous action, which we can get from here. And that'll be everything. Let's go ahead and save and test run, start a new instance, and click Start. And as you can see, it's going to one by one through each user. And since we added the log to history, we're able to see them in the log. So if I open up this, I'm able to see the email for the user and the different files if I scroll down. And that'll be everything. As you can see, it can be very simple to be able to access all of the files owned by different users in your Google directory. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments section and check out the rest of our YouTube gallery for more tutorials. Thank you so much for watching.